Listen-only mode.
Hello and welcome. My name is Chris Brand and I'm going to be your host today for our webinar, Teamwork with Evernote and Refinder. It's 2 minutes past 4 p.m. here in sunny Vienna, and we're still waiting for 1 or 2 minutes to let other participants of this webinar come in before we get started. If you can hear me now, then I assume that everything has been working out. You were able to connect with GoToWebinar, and I hope you're also looking forward with me to a great webinar today. Okay, so 1 final minute and then we'll get started with our webinar. In the meantime, I would invite you to check out the interface of GoToWebinar, as it provides some interesting features for you, and it also will enable you to ask questions during the webinar that I can get back to and reply to you by the end of the webinar. Okay, so let's get started. Once again, I welcome everyone to a webinar, Teamwork with Evernote and Refinder. Thank you for tuning in, and I hope you're also looking forward to the next 30 to 45 minutes where we will learn more about Refinder and using it to connect your Evernotes into secure project room and maybe bring it together with other cloud applications like Dropbox and Google Docs. First, a little bit about me. My name is Chris Brand, and I work here as Customer Communication Coordinator at Refinder. My job is basically to ensure your maximum satisfaction with our tool, Refinder, and be there for you if there are any questions, feedback, problems, or input, or any cases of emergency. If you have any questions about Refinder at any point, please never hesitate to contact me here at chris.brand@gnosis.com. Or if you have technical feedback about Refinder, especially about kind of features and future updates you would like to see, you can leave them at feedback.getrefiner.com, where I will also get a better view at it, and it's directly connected as well to our developers. Next, about the structure of our webinar, of course, you will be able to ask questions during the webinar that might come up. For this, as I just noted, I would once again invite you to check out the question feature that GoToWebinar provides, like it is shown here on the screenshot. If you have any question, please just type it in and click on the send button. I will receive all the questions during the webinar and I will address them in a separate question and answer session at the end of this webinar. Okay, I just see there's still attendance coming in. May I also welcome you to our webinar. We're just about to get started. We covered so far just my presentation as the host and the question structure for this webinar. And without further ado, let's get into the content of this webinar. What is Refinder? We here at Refinder say Refinder is where things come together. It is an intelligent online collaboration tool for teams to collect and share information. Online means that we are a cloud service and you can reach us at getrefiner.com via your browser. So there is no need to host any services on your company servers and there is no need to set things up. Everything is hosted here for you. All you need to do is to create your login at Refinder or at getrefiner.com. Collaboration tool is suggesting that we are providing an interactive tool. While we have found that there are a lot of users that use Refinder also for themselves and their own information management, like managing bookmarks with our bookmarklet, or getting a better structure into Dropbox files with commenting them or being able to search them. The big benefit comes when you use Refinder as a collaboration tool and project space. So you can invite your team members via email address, which we will do later, and you can then exchange yourselves with these people. Instead of sending emails, you can collaborate on Refinder. You can collect and share information. Collect means that with connectors we provide, like Dropbox or Evernote, you can import and index information that you already have in the cloud and get a better overview of them in Refinder. We do not import your data, we just index it and allow you to work on it in a better way and get a good overview. Share information means you can also create content inside Refinder if that is what you want to do inside a certain question. Then of course you can work together with anyone that you might want to or have to work together in a project. That might be colleagues in your business, business partners, and even customers outside your own company. So now what is the structure of this webinar? What are we going to talk about? Here's the agenda. We have 4 steps we want to cover, and we will get into them now. First, I will talk about why Refinder. What are the benefits for you in using Refinder, and what are the problems that we are addressing and hopefully solving for you or enable you to solve with Refinder. Then we're going to take 3 simple steps, which are the Refinder basics, and we will cover how we can use Evernote with Refinder. For this, we're going to create a collection on a hypothetical project. We're going to invite team members into this collection, and then we are going to connect Evernote. We're going to use the Evernote connector to import certain notes that we have stored in Evernote and share them with our team members. Great. So there are actually 2 parts to a problem that we are trying to solve for you. One part is what we have seen over and over again is that people use or misuse, if you want, email actually as social software, and they're not the same thing. So what happens in a project is, let's say we work together with 3 or 4 people. There are maybe files that have to be shared. There's information that is passed along in certain emails. There are appointments to be made. There are parts of a communication that are just between 2 people. There are parts of the communication that have to be available to everyone. So then you might be searching for a certain file you've stored in Dropbox and can't find it, and another person has to reply and say where it is stored. To demonstrate that complexity, what results is, and we've shown it here, maybe a bit exaggerated, is that we have replies to replies to replies to replies to replies, and they all come into an already flooded inbox. And what we have seen for ourselves before we started with Refinder, and what we again hear from many, many customers, is that is just not a productive way to work, and there is a better way to work, and that can be with Refinder. And to give you a better idea of what kind of part of your work life we're addressing with Refinder, there has been a recent study that showed that today's typical employee spends about 45% of his time managing information. If we take a typical 40-hour work week, that amounts to 17 hours a week that you can use much more productively than with writing and sending and reading emails. And that is what we enable you with Refinder, because you get a Facebook kind of environment where you can comment on things, and every team member inside the project can see this information at any time without having to go through their inbox and read 10 or 20 different emails and put the information together. And also, of course, for later on, it is a documented way, and you can go back and clearly see the kind of communication that went on between the team members. And the second part of the problem, or second problem that we're solving, is that there are too many cloud applications to use. Now, cloud applications are a wonderful thing, and we love them. I personally love Evernote. I have it on my smartphone, I have it on my laptop, I have it on my tablet, and actually I have it in my brain. It's almost like I can't think anymore without Evernote. As soon as something comes up, I create a note and I store it in Evernote. And I love Dropbox to have a cloud backup for personal files, as well as to exchange certain data and files with some of my friends. So cloud applications are great, and they are around, they have been around for some time, and chances are they are only going to increase, and that's a beautiful thing. But the problem comes is that there are so many cloud applications to use that when you're inside a project and certain people might want to use or insist on using certain applications, you could end up with 3, 4, 5 different cloud apps in one single project. And that's just not the best way to work, especially if you have to check all these sites separately. Imagine just you're the project manager and you really need to know what's going on inside the project. Are people working? Is progress happening? And then you have to check all these sites separately and go through different interfaces, different logins to see what's going on and who's doing what. And that is just not the best way to do it, and Refinder offers a better way to do that, because with our dashboard we intend to give you a better overview of all the activities that are going on inside your project or projects if you have multiple ones. Great. So what we do with all this is that we create something that we call a central data and activity stream. We have Claudia here, and she's working in a project with Alex and Michael. She has certain files stored in Dropbox. She has certain emails that are relevant to the project. There might also be Twitter streams of certain experts or companies that affect that certain project. And of course, she has her own personal thoughts, since she cannot think without her smartphone. And wherever she is, if she has good information and thoughts on this project, she puts it in a notebook on Evernote. Now she has all these data stored in the cloud, and she wants to bring it into the cloud project with her colleagues. What does she do? She simply goes to Refinder, creates a collection, invites her team members, and then she connects these apps to bring the information together. And of course, Claudia then and her team members see if there are new updates, if a new note has been put into Evernote, a new file uploaded to Dropbox, and so on, with the central data and activity stream. And what enables you that is that you get a really good overview of what is going on inside your projects, with much less time required, way less stress, and much better communication going on. But enough about the theory. Let's go into a practical example of this inside Refinder. So what I have here is in Google Chrome. I'm now logged in with Claudia's account, and I want to start a new collection for a project we have coming up called, let's say it's called Project FinPower. I click on Create New Collection, and now I type in the name of the collection, which is, of course, Project FinPower. Makes sense. For a better description, I could type in here more, but since I only have 2 team members, we know what this project is about. We just wanted to find a good tool that will enable us to work together. So I click on OK, and now I have created the collection. I'm taking the screen here, and first of all, for a better overview, I can choose a nice picture that will express what this project is about. Now, this project is about creating electricity, and doing that in a sustainable way, because we are a company about solar energy. Is there a good picture here I can pick? Because again, we offer you a number of pictures beforehand. Okay, maybe not. Oh, let's say this. We're talking about natural energy, sustainability, and sunshine. Beautiful. Okay, I click on close, and I am back in the collection. Now, as the next step, I'm going to invite team members. Let's say Claudia is working on this project together with me and our CEO, Leo. So what Claudia does is she goes up here to the screen where we have Manage Members. She clicks on Manage Members and gets the screen here, similar to Google Docs. Persons down here, let's say she was going to invite me via email. So Claudia just has to type in my email, click enter, and the first one is taken, and then also the second name, which is Leo, our CEO. Oh, he already has a user account, of course. So if user is already registered and you enter the email, you might find their face here and click on it. Great. Now Claudia gives us writing permission so we can work actively and create content or post content in this project. And she will click on add. Now Leo and I are going to receive an email with a confirmation link that we have to click to join her in this collection. So now we have here pending, which means that we are not yet registered. We have not yet accepted the invitation, just like this message says. Claudia, since she's the owner of the collection, who has created the collection, can at any time again remove us as users or edit our writing and reading permissions inside this project. Now Claudia has invited the team members, and we're going to close to get back into the collection. Now that we have this great project space and people are here, what is missing? Claudia wants to bring in her notes from Evernote and share them with us. So for that, we are going to connect a Cloud app. So Claudia clicks here on this button, and we get a choice of certain cloud applications that currently you see we support also Dropbox, Google Docs, or Twitter, and also RSS feeds. But now we will talk about Evernote. So Claudia clicks here in Evernote, and the Cloud connector is going to load. The next step we have to take is that we have to authenticate Refinder and Evernote. So for this, we click on Start Authentication. Cloud is taken to Evernote. Now this screen comes up because Cloud is currently logged into her Evernote account as well. If you take the step and you're not logged into Evernote, you would first have to log into Evernote, then you will come to this screen. Click on Authorize to allow Refinder and Evernote to connect for a whole year. And after confirming this step, we are taken back to Refinder. It might take a little bit now, and the indexing is going to start. Now here in this project, we have Claudia's account, and we could select from various notebooks she has. Currently, she only has one notebook, which is FinPower, so of course we're going to choose that notebook. And we would also have another filtering option, which would be to select via tags. Claudia has created notes with 3 different tags in this notebook, and we could filter for one of these. But we're going to choose all of them since they're all relevant for this project. I click on Save, and the indexing process starts. It might take a few seconds depending on the size and the amount of notes in your notebook on Evernote. We get the screen here, and we can continue. So to continue here, I have this new screen, and I see that there are 3 new things in this collection. So the notes have just been indexed, and here they are. Beautiful. Claudia has made 3 great notes on hydroelectric power, Project FinPower, and another municipality in eastern Finland. And that's it. Now, if Leo and I are logged in, or of course Claudia wants to provide further information on a certain node and give us tips to think about what we discuss on a certain node, is that she could just click here and make a comment and say, add Chris, so she's talking about me, and then say, please take a look at this first. She presses enter and she's made a comment. Now if I log in here with my account, I will see this, and I see her talking to me, and I should take a look at this note first, which is of course what I'm going to do. I could then just reply to her by making my own comment. I could like the fact that this is a real great note, or I could also open this note on Evernote and take a look at the entire note as well. Great. So that's basically it. That is how you can create a collection in Refinder, invite your team members, and then connect cloud applications with it, just like Evernote, which we just did. Yes, and that's beautiful. Now, like you can see, if we go to the dashboard, we see recent activities, but it seems Cloud has not been so active recently. If we go to collections, we also have an overview of our collections, and various collections that Cloud might already have created. But I will go back into the collection, and Claudia probably has some more work to do here now. Great, and that's basically the end of my demonstration. If you have any questions, any further questions about Refinder and about connecting Evernote, please, I just invite you to ask them now and use the question feature in GoToWebinar, excuse me. Currently, there are no questions, but I will give 2 more minutes to see if there are any questions coming in. Okay, I see there is one. Okay, so one user asked a good question, which is, can Chris open Cloud's Evernote node? Yes, that's I would be able to do that. So the question is, I'm now logged in here with Claudia's account, and Claudia has connected her notebook here from Evernote to Refinder. And if me, Chris, with my own user who would not be able to access Claudia's notebook on Evernote, has then the possibility to just like we have here, to open the notes on Evernote. So can I, as Chris, open Claudia's note? And again, the answer is yes. I would be able to see Claudia's notes because she has decided and agreed to share them with me on Refinder in this project space. I do not need an extra permission in Evernote to be able to look at her notebook, because as soon as Claudia imports this notebook or certain notes from the notebook into Refinder, the notes that she has decided to import or index into the collection, because we're not storing them, we're just indexing the information, I am also able, or all the team members inside this collection are able to open these notes in Evernote, which is of course useful because that is why Claudia has shared them with us in the first place, and we can then all get this great overview inside the information. And that works through the connection that Refinder and Evernote have. Of course, you need to be careful about the information that, or the notes that you put into the project space, but the team members will be able to see them and be able to open them in Evernote. Okay, and the second question I just received is, okay, but when I can see these, when I can open them in Evernote, well, I have them read-only or writable. So I, as Chris, who's able to open the Evernotes that Claudia has shared, with me or with the project, I could open them on Evernote, but as read-only and not as writable. So I would not be able to change or edit her notes, but I would be able to see them. Because it's, again, a way that she can share this information with us and we're all on the same page. But it would not make sense that I finally have access to all of Claudia's Evernote notes. I can see them, but I can't edit them. But of course, I could share my own notes to make them useful. Okay, great. Beautiful. Are there any other questions? Please send them to me now. Again, I will give 2 to 3 minutes and see if there are any other questions coming in. In the meantime, of course, let me just say, of course, if there are any other cloud applications you would love to see integrated into Refinder, you can also send your opinion and your input to us, which is very interesting for us as well. And just do that either to send them to me via email or go to feedback.getrefinder.com and give us some more information there. If there is another cloud app you love and would love to use with Refinder. Okay, it seems that there are no further questions coming in. I hope that I answered all of your questions so far to your satisfaction. And great if there are no questions left. Okay. Well then, I thank you for your time and your interest. I hope you had a very interesting webinar here with me and with Refinder. I hope I was able to deliver to you that using Refinder and Evernote can be very useful for team projects and about exactly how to do this. If you want to go back for more information, we are also going to put this webinar online within the next days. And of course, you will get an email about this as well. Moreover, you can find a lot of useful posts about connectors and other Refiner features that I could not explain in total detail in this webinar on our blog, which you can find also, of course, at getrefiner.com. And there's much more information there as well. Great. Once again, thanks for your attention. I hope you still have a wonderful Tuesday afternoon, morning, or wherever you are right now. And I send you the best greetings from Vienna, Austria, to wherever you are. Have a beautiful Tuesday. Thank you, and goodbye.